What's up YouTube? It's Franklin from Dual Humor and I'm back with another deck profile for you guys. This time it's Unchained, guys. Unchained. I've actually started to like this deck a lot, and reason being it's really fun to play, and it has a trolley type gimmick where it pops and it gets stronger. It brings out bigger monsters, and you can just basically steal your opponent's monsters for link material. So really interesting. It also has beautiful artwork. So yeah, let's just get started. Been playing this deck for basically a month and a half, like just non-stop, and I think I got one of the better builds. So we'll just start off with the Unchained monsters, and the first one is the big boy himself, Abominable Unchained Soul. Now, Abominable Unchained Soul, besides being a 3000 attacker, he basically has a pop effect when special summoned by destroying one card from your hand, or discarding one card from your hand. You could just destroy a card on the field. So like, it could be your card, it could be your opponent's card. He also is in an Unchained monster, big boy monster, Unchained Soul, basically, that you need for your link materials for Unchained links. And he's recyclable as well, because when he's destroyed on the field, you can special summon him at the end of the turn. So pretty cool. Yeah. So play one of him. I would play two if I had space. I just didn't have space for him. So because we do play another big boy, we do play the Unchained Soul Disaster. Disaster is really good. It doesn't have the pop effect that Unchained Soul has, but he does have an additional effect that makes him just as good, as that you can basically target one of your opponent's monsters and link summon immediately afterwards. It isn't a quick effect, so that is probably the worst thing about it, but it does get rid of big problematic monsters that are targetable. So really good. It's also another Unchained Soul which is needed to play the links. So now on to little boys, basically the twins, and we got Unchained Twin Aurora. Basically Aurora, people call it Red from like Super Saiyan, Dragon Ball Super. Basically he's probably the best one out of all the twins, the little ones, because he has a quick effect that lets him special summon on hand, basically. Well, not a quick effect, but like it's a free summon. The other one's a quick effect, my bad. He has a free summon on hand, and basically you destroy the target, so it's really good. It works well with the traps, and special summon him, and then you can just normal summon the blue one, or the other one, the other twin, the Samara, basically. So yeah, but the only downside with this is that when you special summon like this, you're locked into fiends, so you have to remember that when you activate this effect. So there's three of him. And then we also obviously play his twin sister, and which is Rika, Unchained Twin, and she's the quick effect this time. Although her quick effect isn't as good as the free special summon of Aurora, because Aurora is a starter card. This card's more of like already during your opponent's turn good, because you could just pop a card and basically get a free summon, basically, because all these Unchained cards, what they have another effect is that when they're destroyed, they get to special summon most of the time. Like the only one that's not like that is the Unchained Soul, but the other ones are, if you pop a card, if they get popped either by destroyed by battle or by card effect, except by their own effect, they get to special summon another Unchained from the deck. So really interesting, pretty cool. So the twin Rika is right there, right here on top of the other ones. And the last but not least Unchained card, it is the Unchained Samara. And Samara is a relatively new card for the deck. Really add consistency, because her effect basically is you could just target an Unchained card in your graveyard, set it, and destroy another card. So you basically would like to do is have her and Aurora out, and just and obviously the trap card in the graveyard. Set the trap card, destroy Aurora, and then just get another monster like Soul on the field, one of the souls, like obviously Disaster on field, and yeah, go off from there. So it's pretty interesting. She's definitely needed. I would play 3 because I do play Desires, but you can go get by but with 2. You only need really 1 to resolve. And let's see, some more monsters we do play is the tour guide engine. Yes, I know one's ulti and one's more lolly-fied. But yeah, I didn't have another ulti. Really good card because you can normal summon her, and then you can either get Samora in the graveyard, or another card which I do play are the Dark Spirits. So you can always combo off tour guide, normal summon tour guide, special summon a Dark Spirit. Its effects are negated, but it does not matter because you can just link summon into a level 2 link monster, have the Dark Spirit in graveyard, and then when you send one of the Unchained Souls, you basically add the Dark Spirit back. So I do play the Dark Spirit engine because it's really fun. It does plus you a lot. So yeah, that is it for the monsters, the main monsters. We do play hand traps, obviously, and they are 3-dimensional shifter. So dimensional shifter, he's a really good card this format, and if you could play it and your deck doesn't really lose to it by playing it, I recommend playing it. It's just a shutout. It's literally ends turn. So obviously I know people are gonna say Unchained. Well, Unchained uses the graveyard. Well, yes, it does, but the effects to after they get popped isn't required that they're sent to the graveyard. So if you pop with Aurora, a card, if Aurora gets popped by like Samara, or if Rika pops Aurora or something like that, the effect that Aurora will still trigger, like the effect of Aurora popping, like basically the effect of Samara popping Aurora, basically Aurora still activates its effect even though it gets banished. So it doesn't affect us nearly as much as people think. So definitely Shifter is really good. And then obviously Ash Blossom, because why not? We do have some space for Ash Blossom. And that is it for the monsters and hand traps of the deck. Now we're going off to the spells, and we do play 3 prisons. Prisons basically the reinforcement of the army of the deck. Yeah, it lets you just add a card, an Unchained card, no matter what happens. Even if it gets set and destroyed by Twin Twisters, it adds you an Unchained card. So it's really good. You only can activate once per turn, but it doesn't matter. If you have this card in hand, you're feeling good. And we do have Wailing of the Unchained, just another name basically, because if it gets pumped by any effect, you basically get to special summon an Unchained monster from your deck. So really good because it combos well with Aurora, which is obviously a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Red, basically, of the deck, how they nicknamed him. And yeah, and at worst, it is like at its best. Actually, it is if you link summon an Unchained monster, you could just just target a card and destroy it. So it's always a plus in hand. So now onto some draw cards, and we do play 2 Pot of the Desires, basically. +1 for the deck. Yeah, we played 3 of everything that's important, so it's not really that big of a deal if you banish a couple of cards, a couple copies of them. And then we play Upstart, another draw card, onto some blowout cards, and the blowout card is a Lightning Storm. Yes, I know a lot of people can't afford the Lightning Storm, so what I recommend is just playing Dark Hole. Dark Hole is so good. It's at 3. It's good in this deck because you just pop your own monsters and you can just combo off. So play Dark Hole if you do not have Lightning Storm. If you do, play Lightning Storm because it just does a little bit more. So that is it for the spells, guys. Now we're on to the trap cards, and yeah, we max out on all of the Unchained traps, and I think the best one is the next one, but this one's okay. So Escape of the Unchained, basically you just target an Unchained monster and a card in the field and destroy both of them. Pretty simple. It also has the effect that when it's destroyed set, you can special summon an Unchained monster from your deck. So it works well with Aurora, it works well with a lot of other cards like Samora, the little Unchains. Basically, it works really well with them. It even works well with Abominable Slow, so really good. Alright, so the last Unchained card is Abominable Chamber of the Unchained, and this one's probably the best one because it is a Call of the Haunted. if it doesn't get popped, obviously. Well, you could reset it with Samara and then activate it. So it's really interesting. It is basically a free summon regardless of what its effect is. So you can special summon Unchained from the hand or graveyard, and if it's set, you can just special summon from the deck. So it's pretty interesting. And then to round up our trap lineup, we do play Evenly Matched because this deck is more of a going second in my opinion. And Evenly Matched is so blowout. It wins a lot of games single-handedly. So that is it for the main deck. On to the extra deck, and we do play three Unchained Souls of Rage. The level 2 Unchained, basically it has the effect that if during your opponent's May phase, you can just target a special summon monster your opponent controls and just immediately link summon. So you can link summon into Link 3. It doesn't have to be the Unchained Link 3. It could be a regular Link 3. But keep in mind, some of the mini twins, just like I said, locks you out of the extra deck except for Fiends. Well, basically every special summon except for Fiends. So if you use Rika's effect during your opponent's turn, you have to keep that in mind before doing this. So it also has an additional fact that if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you just target a Fiend from your graveyard and just add it to hand. So pretty interesting. Never a bad card, especially early game. Now on to the Unchained Link. Actually not Unchained Link 3. Sorry about that. Let's finish off with the Link 2s, and we do play Cherubini. Basically, Cherubini has a little neat combo with the basically Tour Guide and the Dark Spirits, that where you could just almost summon Tour Guide and basically get both Dark Spirits in hand because of Cherubini. So it's pretty interesting. Definitely play it. Recommended. Keep in mind that it is a fairy, so you might not be able to use it if you use Rika or you use the other twins effect, Red's effect. So you gotta be careful. Now onto the Link 3s. We do play Unchained Soul of Anguish, and Soul of Anguish basically does the same thing as Soul of Rage, but in your turn. So you just target a face-up monster you control, and it doesn't even have to be special summon, to be honest with you, with this one. So it's a little bit better. It's just in your turn, not in your opponent's. So you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and just link summon. So you can link summon to level 4, and if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Fiend monster from your graveyard. So pretty interesting, pretty neat. Recyclable and really good. So another Link 3 we play is Tropologic Trisbania for the back row decks. Can be made, and then you can combo off with the trap cards to special summon and banish everything. We do play Nightmare Unicorn, and this card is super duper good in this deck because it is a Fiend, so it is never dead because some of these cards lock you out of Fiends. Well, this is a Fiend, so you can go into it regardless. And basically it shuffles a deck card back to from the field to the deck, and yeah, it's really good. We also play Unchained Abomination, and this card is blowout sometimes. This card has so many effects, and they all about destroying monsters. Basically, if a monster was destroyed this turn, destroy it. If your opponent, if a monster was destroyed by battle, destroy a card on the field. And during the end phase, you could destroy another card on the field. Basically, if your opponent breathes, you destroy one of their cards on the field at the end of the turn. So it's a really good card. It's even played outside of Unchained, which shows its merits. Then we also play a Tropologic Bomber, basically the same thing as Trisbania, but it's like for monsters. And then we also play Tropologic Zeraboros because it does do the same thing as the other Tropologics, but this time it banishes everything but itself. So this one is a little more broken. It's a really good late game, especially when you're winning the resource game. So yeah. And then lastly, we do play Super Poly targets because in the side deck I play Super Poly. So we do have Starving Venom, we have Ferroplant Dagroscopia, we do have Earth Golem, and we do have Mud Dragon. And speaking on topic of the side deck, I will show it to you guys really quickly so you guys get an understanding of how to side with this deck. So first 3 cards, Dark Ruler and more, we gotta beat Animassive Player somehow, right? This is a going second deck, and we need to set up, and there's just boards that we can't break without Dark Ruler no more. Then we also play Super Poly. Super Poly is, as stated by the targets, a really good card siding in. Didn't have space for it for the main deck, but it's blowout against certain decks. And then we have Cosmic Cyclone for Mystic Mind decks or decks that play the Buster Link, the Buster Dragon that we need to just out. We also play Nibiru. Nibiru's Nibiru. It's auto win against certain decks, so you have to play it in the side. And last but not least, we do play Summit Limit because there's times where your opponent's gonna be smart and make you go first, and Summit Limit is something that they're not expecting you to side in. So that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and really I'll have fun playing this deck. I really enjoyed as well. If you guys do purchase some of these cards, please use our TCG affiliated link. It does help out the channel, and I really appreciate it. And if you guys really enjoy this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more awesome content. And Franklin from Dual Humor out. Peace, guys.